welcome everyone and recognize the Open Meeting Act posted on the back wall. Rob, will you please call the roll?
Mueller? Mayor Zach?
Yes.
Mayor Paul?
Yeah.
Shutt, yes. Roseland? Yes. Lizer?
Yes.
Furman?
Yes.
Okay, we'll move on to a consent agenda, which consists of the notice of the meeting, board meeting minutes, treasurer's report, and board claims. As always, you are welcome to pull one of those items out and act on it separately. Otherwise, I would entertain a motion for a consent agenda.
I move to approve the consent agenda.
I'll second that.
Okay, there's a motion and a second to approve the consent agenda, which consists of the notice of the meeting, board minutes, treasurer's report, and board's claim. Is there any further discussion? Seeing none, we'll vote.
It passed.
Okay. Motion carries. We'll move on to item 6. There it is. We'll move on to item 6. Is there anyone from the audience who would like to make a report to the board? Okay. Seeing none, we'll move on to hearing from our middle school math PLC group.
All right. Well, good evening, and thank you for having us at your board meeting tonight. Just a quick introduction of ourselves. I'm Angela Blank. I'm the 6-8 math teacher at Cedar Hollow.
I'm Bobby Byerly. I'm at 1R.
And I'm Nicole Pullen. I'm at St. Labori.
Just a quick update of what we do typically in our classrooms. So we have the textbook series of Big Ideas in Math for 6th grade through 8th grade. And then in 8th grade, we are able to differentiate between a pre-algebra course, which is the course 3 book. And then we also offer Algebra 1 to those students that qualify based off of our recommendations, our prerequisites. And so all of the students have an online textbook and electronic textbook. And then their homework we do is usually assigned online, where we pick out questions. We don't assign every single question. Resources that they have. There is a live tutor that is available to them after 4 o'clock if they have questions. I don't believe many of my students use it. We did base homework not to be graded, but we'll pick 5 questions from our assignments to then have as a quiz, usually about every 2 to 3 days, just to see how they did on the assignment, and then just to prove to us that they actually can do the work. So those are our common formative assessments that we talk about. And then we also work on our chapter tests in our group when we meet as a PLC, and then make sure that those questions that are on our state test or on our chapter test are being met with what are our state standards.
Hi, so I'm covering the MAPS data and the NSCAS information. So our MAPS tests are, the M stands for Measure of Academic Proficiency. So it's basically the student against themselves every time. And we're monitoring growth, whether or not the student is gaining from where they were in the past. So if you look at the first bar graph with the 3 bars, the blue is the winter of 2020, the average norms. The red is what we at Northwest Public Schools are in the winter of 2019. And then the gold is the winter of 2020. So if you look at the information, you can see that we're still above the winter norms of 2020. But if you look at the gold bar, we are not as high as we were in 2019. But we have COVID. So it kind of it makes sense that our kids didn't get the same learning that they would have typically gotten in a classroom from March to May last year. And so when we're pairing them to at-home learning and not being able to have access to our students, it kind of makes sense. So we're working on addressing that gap, and that's why we wanted to show you the